15th meeting of the Hammond City Plan Commission. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call.
Roger Brown,
Here.
Sam Stockton,
Here.
Nathaniel Harris, Ann Herbert, William Hutton,
Here.
Michael Pinker,
Here.
Kim White. Here. Thomas White,
Here.
6 present, we have a quorum.
Okay, next is approval of the minutes for the July 21st, 2014 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Second. Any questions or comments on the minutes? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. We move down to old business, CP 14-09B, ratification of certificate of correction for Conkey Complex addition to the city of Hammond, 610 through 651 Conkey Street, in an I-1 light industrial district. Mr. Poland.
Mr. President and Plan Commission members, I just want to make a correction to the agenda. It is 601 through 651. That's just a transposition of the two numbers. The Plan Commission did approve the plat on May 19th of this year, and I did record the plat on September 4th. Unfortunately, after I recorded it, I noticed that there was a notation that was left off of the version of the plat. So in contacting the surveyor, they have prepared a certificate of correction that would enact that correction and create a recordable document to do that. We are just asking for the Plan Commission to make a motion to ratify and accept the certificate of correction for the Conkey Complex addition.
Do I have such a motion?
You have such a motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Roger Brown,
Yes.
Sam Stockton,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Michael Pinker,
Yes.
Kim White,
Yes.
Thomas White,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Next, we move down to new business, CP 14-07, petition of 6639 Columbia Avenue to reclassify property at 6621, 6625, 6639 Columbia Avenue from C2 Shopping Center District to C4 General Commercial District within the city of Hammond.
Good evening. My name is Don Toring. I'm here this evening representing 6639 Columbia LLC.
Hold on one second, Mr. Tarango. Shannon, can you address the fact that the notification requirements have been met?
Has it been? Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tarango.
Sorry, I was writing. I do have, I gave those to you earlier, didn't I? I think it appeared on September 2nd. Anyway, in your packet, you'll see that Columbia, or 6639 Columbia LLC purchased the old Stardust bowling lanes. And what they would like to do is they would like to build a charter fitness in the interior. And along the west side, they want to put in some nice retail development. The current zoning of that property is C2, which is shopping center district, which doesn't allow for the type of businesses that they want to put in there. So they're asking for a C4 general business. During this process, Mr. Poland suggested that we, in cooperation with the other two property owners that are on the northeast corner, of 167th Southeastern and Columbia, that are also currently zone C2, if we could get those two property owners and also 6639 Columbia rezoned to the same classification. So what we're actually asking for are two things. The first thing would be to rezone the 3 properties, in particular, the corner or the Stardust bowling lanes, so that they can do what they are hoping to be able to do on that property and to build retail development. And the second is to make the zoning classification in this area consistent throughout. Part of your packet is the zoning district map, which you'll see shows the entire subject area, which includes the Columbia Gyros at 6621, I believe it is, and House of Legends, which is at 6625, and then the Stardust Bowling Lanes, which actually shows an address of 6641 on the Lake County GIS viewer. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions from any commissioners?
I do.
Yes.
Mr. Poland, are these changes going to have any negative impact on the zoning ordinances for these existing properties?
Well, I think the answer to that would be partially how I would address my staff report at the time of presenting it. However, I think in partly answering your question, I think I want to address a point. The Charter Fitness is considered to be a commercial recreation, and that is a permitted use in the C2 district. The question that, as far as what one of the reasons for the change into C4 is that the petitioner wanted to subdivide the building into other users, and they wanted more flexibility for those other users, those other tenant spaces, and that's the request for the C4. But if they were just doing the Charter Fitness, then C2 would have been the correct zoning district.
I guess in particular, the other 2 properties we're talking about to the north, setbacks, parking requirements, et cetera, are compliant with the C4?
They would be as compliant as they are as a C2, and I can't say that they are 100% compliant with current zoning. Part of the issue is the nature of the interconnection between Legends, the restaurant, and the bowling alley. The Legends parcel is a very skinny but long and deep parcel. Legends has the curb cut for both Legends and the bowling alley is on Legends property, and there's an existing easement that allows for that. When it was a bowling alley, practically speaking, the patrons of the bowling alley would use the back end of Legends property for parking. So if you would look at each independently, they may or may not meet the requirements, but collectively as a piece of property, they would, because of the cross parking, which is kind of existed back when King Castle, or whatever that was referred to as, King Castle existed back at some point in this distant past. That is one of the issues when we go through with that we are requesting for plating, is that we have to make sure that the cross parking and cross access easements are up to date, and then that would allow us to make sure that the parking requirements are adequate for both the Legends and for the Charter Fitness.
Did that answer your question, Mr. Hutton?
I have one more,
Okay.
of course.
A long answer, and I'm waiting for the follow-up.
Yes, you are. If Legends were to sell their property to somebody else, would that cross-parking agreement be passed on to the future buyer?
If it's through the plat process, yes, it would be binding on all future owners.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any commissioners?
Yes, I have a question. I just wonder if
they are targeting for any particular type of development, commercial development, or
You're asking
tenant?
what type of tenants? That I really don't know at this time. The Charter Fitness, of course, is a health club.
Right.
But I don't, as far as the type of businesses that are going in there, I don't think that they have anybody lined up at this point. So, like, sure. Mr. Gorski is here also. He's the architect involved with this project, so perhaps he could answer that question better. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't know I was going to speak unless I would have dressed up. But my name is,
Yeah, go ahead, state your name and.
yeah, my name is James Gorski. I'm with the Bureau of Architecture and Design, the architects on the project. And the way it's set up now is Charter would take the middle space, around 23,000 square feet, close to 24,000 actually. The building itself is roughly 50,000 square feet, so the remaining 25,000 would, half of that would be to the east of the Charter space, and that we're not so sure exactly who that would fit, but the intent on the west side is to split that up into smaller retail facing the street, nicer storefronts there, but all kind of supplemental to the fitness center, maybe a smoothie shop or some sort of, you know, fast food, but hopefully healthy, you know, but smaller retail in those storefronts over there. So that's the idea.
Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
Any other questions from any commissioners? If not, we'll move into the public hearing phase. We'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on CP 14-07? I don't think there is. Is there anyone in the audience? Is there anyone in the audience? That closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. Any additional questions from any of the commissioners?
Thank you.
Is there any comments from staff? Brian?
I can make my staff report presentation.
You gonna read your staff report?
I'll summarize it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, for this regarding CP 1407, as stated, it's for 6621 through 6625, 6641 Columbia Avenue, reclassifying from C2 to C4. It's stated that this is, you know, a combined petition with the three property owners, Gus Iatrides Legends, Pete Short, I don't know how to say that, Torches from Columbia Gyros, and then the 6639 LLC. For the record, they did provide us the documents that granted the authority of 6639 to Columbia Avenue LLC to speak on behalf of the other two property owners. Property, as stated, is zone C2, and they want to change to C4. NIPSCO's on the east, which is S2. The cemetery on the south is S1. There's C4 to the north, and there's C4 to the west on the west side of Columbia Avenue. And looking at the comprehensive plan, the property is identified as commercial on the land use plan, but there was no specific guidance beyond that. The current conditions of the property is that the Stardust Bowl is vacant, but the other two parcels are currently active restaurants. The desirable use of the property is really to continue to be used as to continue to use it as commercial property. Property values in the area that, well, as it is already as commercial use, I don't really anticipate any significant changes to the property values other than the increased values that would be associated with improving a vacant structure. The change in the classification won't really have any negative effect in the area, and any of the additional uses that a C4 district allows that are excluded from a C2 district, there will not have a negative effect. Some of those uses that may start to cause a question is and some of the vehicle-related services, the car washes, the car dealers, the car repairs. Those things are conditional uses in C4 districts and therefore are not automatically allowed to go into C4 districts if this zoning change is accepted. So any of those potential negatives can be controlled through the conditional use process. And then the residential areas are far enough away so that they would not be affected significantly by the rezoning. Staff recommendation is reasonable for change because there is no significant negative effect on the area by changing the classification from one type of commercial to another, and the fact that the change would make this particular part of the intersection more consistently zoned. We ask that the Planning Commission forward the petition to the City Council with a favorable recommendation, and if the Planning Commission agrees with recommendation, to adopt the report as stated as preliminary findings of fact.
Any questions for Brian? Do we have a motion to accept the staff report as preliminary findings of fact?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote.
Roger Brown,
Yes.
Sam Sodney,
Yes.
Nathaniel Harris,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Michael Finker,
Yes.
Ken White,
Yes.
Thomas White,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Do I have a motion to send this to the city council with a favorable recommendation?
I would move that we forward the petition to the city council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Roger Brown,
Yes.
Sam Sodney,
Yes.
Nathaniel Harris,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Michael Finker,
Yes.
Ken White,
Yes.
Thomas White,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
So that should complete CP 1407.
Mr. Taranga,
Yes.
if you could just bring me up to date on the point of, did you have any success with getting a hold of the district councilman?
No, I did not. I have called and left messages, but he has not returned the call yet. But I'll try again. It will be the
If you
third
would
time.
give it another try for tomorrow, we have till 10 o'clock on Wednesday to get the petition to the council for it to show up next Monday.
Okay.
And I want to stick to that schedule. If not, it'll be delayed significantly because the council only has one meeting in October. So just give it a go.
Okay. Do we need Mr. Higgs to actually sign off on it? Or to sponsor it, I should say? I
Technically
probably
speaking,
stated that wrong.
The statute allows for the petitioner or the owner to directly petition, but it makes things a lot easier if you have the councilman.
Okay. I will try again in the morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Okay, we'll move down to correspondence. Is there any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Any commissioners' comments? Bill, don't you usually have a comment here?
No comment.
Any staff comments? Ryan?
Disappointed, I did put in your packet a schedule for meetings that NERC is hosting on their 2040 comprehensive plan. They're in the process of updating the plan that was adopted a number of years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago. It is a mandated update based on the Department of Transportation requires them to do that. If you are able to attend any of the meetings, I think some of them, the closest one might be in Munster. They did not have any in Hammond, or Highland. They did not have any in Hammond. So just encourage you to participate in that process with them.
Anything else? Public comment? Nobody's here. We have a motion adjourned?
Make the motion?
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.